Hello and welcome to my desk. Is a super zoomed in version of it. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of some of the books I got on Boxing Day sale this year. In Canada we have a GST break until sometime in February, so all print books are tax-free. And Book Outlet was having a 20% off sale, so I may have gone a little crazy. This is going to be edition 1 of all of the books that I have gotten so far this year. You'll see one on top right here. This is not one I purchased. This is one that I got for Christmas. And I'm really excited. I'm reading it now. It's my current read. It's The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. I'm just a little ways into it, but I'm liking it so far. I have read one of her other books, which you might recognize in my YouTube icon, which was The Hunting Party. It was the book I had handy when I had to make a photo for that, so it's featured there. That was also a really good book. Okay, I'll tell you what this one's about, and then we'll open the box. And we'll see what other ones are inside, because I'm not exactly sure what's in this box. Okay. Welcome to the opening weekend of The Manor, a luxury resort built on top of old secrets in an ancient forest. The founder, the husband, the mystery guest, the kitchen help. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone has a past, but not everyone will survive the midnight feast. There is a longer blurb in the inside. If you want to pause there, you could try and read it, but I'll save that for when I do the review of this book. Let's get in here. The first time you get one of these boxes, it's cool. And then you try to open it, and sometimes they're easy and sometimes they're really difficult. This one seems to have a lot of glue, so we'll cut to when it's already open. Little sneak preview there. I'm gonna move it out to the side, and then I'll pull them out one by one. Okay, let's see what's inside. Okay, book number 1 is a little bit dusty. The book jacket is matte. It's quite a few fingerprints and some dust seemingly embedded in it, but apparently this is a signed first edition. That's a nice surprise. Okay, this book is called End of Story, a novel by A.J. Finn. There's a little tagline here that says, "The past isn't gone, it's just waiting." On the back, there is no synopsis. There's just some praise from various publications. Let's take a look inside and see what it's about. Oh, I just realized there's a piece of a box here. Also, pardon any wax you see on the desk. That's just remnants of candles or reviews past. Okay. So this says, for fans of Knives Out comes a spellbinding thriller from the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, The woman in the window. I'll be dead in 3 months. Come tell my story. So writes Sebastian Trapp, reclusive mystery novelist, to his longtime correspondent, Nikki Hunter, an expert in detective fiction. With mere months to live, Trapp invites Nikki to his spectacular San Francisco mansion to help draft his life story. While living alongside him and his beautiful second wife, Diana, his wayward nephew, Freddie, and his protective daughter, Madeline, soon Nikki finds herself caught in an irresistible case of real-life detective fever. You and I might even solve an old mystery or two. 20 years earlier, on New Year's Eve, 1999, Sebastian's first wife and teenage son vanished from different locations, never to be seen again. Did the perfect crime writer commit the perfect crime? And why has he emerged from seclusion 2 decades later to allow a stranger to dig into his past? Life is hard, after all. It kills you. As Nikki attempts to weave together the strands of Sebastian's life, she becomes obsessed with discovering the truth, while Madeline begins to question what her beloved father might actually know about that long-ago night. And when a corpse appears in the family's koi pond, both women are shocked to find that the past isn't gone. It's just waiting. So this is book haul book number 1. It was the first book that I chose. Ironically, the first one to come out of the box. First box. So that is great. I'm really excited to read this one. Hopefully you're looking forward to it in future reviews. Time for book number 2. Ironically, the last book was dusty. This one feels dusty. It's such a weird texture. Can you hear the texture? I don't know if you can see it. It almost feels like tissue paper, or like one of those high quality papers that feels like fabric, like that you'd use for artwork or art drawing or something. Okay, so this book is Extinction by Douglas Preston, an author we've seen a lot of in the last 2 years of my channel. But with his co-author, Lincoln Child, they did the Pendergast series, but this is just him, just on his own. Oh, I love that sound of a book just cracking open for the first time. Okay. Erebus Resort, occupying a magnificent 100,000-acre valley deep in the Colorado Rockies, offers guests the experience of viewing woolly mammoths, Irish elk, and giant ground sloths in their native habitat. Brought back from extinction through the magic of genetic manipulation, when a billionaire's son and his new wife are kidnapped and murdered in the Erebus backcountry by what is assumed to be a gang of eco-terrorists, Colorado Bureau of Investigation agent Francis Cash partners with Country Sheriff James Colcord to track down the perpetrators. As the killings mount and the valley is excavated, Cash and Colcord must confront an ancient, intelligent, and malevolent presence at Erebus, bent not on resurrection, but extinction. Took me a bit to get through that. I stumbled a little bit. Apologies for the mispronunciations. So this book was kind of billed as a Michael Crichton-esque, Jurassic Park-esque book. So I'm interested to see what it pans out to be like. That's book 2. Book 3 is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. Okay, this one, I thought this was going to have a synopsis on the back. It doesn't. It looks like it's kind of like this book, in where there is a flap on a paperback, which is something I'm seeing now that I didn't used to see. It also has a rough finished edge. Which this one has as well. You can see the zigzag. Okay. I'm just gonna move these, they're kind of in the way. That's better. Okay, let's see. I keep hitting my mic. Let's see what this one is about. A killer haunts a small southern town, and 2 outcasts, the preacher's daughter and the boy from the wrong side of the tracks, hold the key to uncovering the truth. For fans of Verity and A Flicker in the Dark, Midnight is the Darkest Hour is a twisted tale of murder, obsessive love, and the beastly urges that lie dormant within us all, even the God-fearing folk of Bottom Springs, Louisiana. In her small hometown, librarian Ruth Cornier has always felt like an outsider, even as her beloved father rains fire and brimstone warnings from the pulpit at Holy Fire Baptist. Unfortunately for Ruth, the only things the townspeople fear more than God and the devil are the myths that haunt the area, like the story of the Low Man, a vampiric figure said to steal into sinners' bedrooms and kill them on the moonless nights. When a skull is found deep in the swamp next to mysterious carved symbols, Bottom Springs is thrown into an uproar, and Ruth realizes only she and Everett, an old friend with a dark past, have the power to comb the town's secret underbelly in search of the true evil. A dark and powerful novel like those that fans have come to anticipate from Ashley Winstead, Midnight is the Darkest Hour is an examination of the ways we expect love, religion, and stories to save us, the lengths we have to go to in order to take back power, and the monstrous work of being a girl in this world. I don't know if anyone else finds that frustrating when they kind of tack on something on the end of the synopsis that gives away more about the book, or maybe it's themes or underlying messages, or they'll stick in kind of a review from a famous publication or a noted reviewer of some kind. It's just in this, when there's quotes on the tops of books, or when there's advertisements for when a book becomes a movie, and I understand they do that to like kind of make people aware of that type of stuff, but this particularly, this says, where the Crawdads Sing meets Twilight meets Thelma and Louise. This is brilliantly realized, totally original thriller. I mean, I'm not familiar with the context of all of those and how they would fit together in this book, but I just find it kind of annoying when they do that. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. Let me know in a comment. I just don't like it. And this book did that twice at the beginning, where it mentions other books that readers who have read those books might also like this book, and then in the last paragraph, it does it again. Anyways, the main substance of the synopsis, though, sounded interesting to me. A Flicker in the Dark is a book I had on my list that I wanted to read. I'd saved it a long time ago in in my favorites from my cart, but it was out of stock at the time that I placed the order, so I couldn't get it, but maybe look for that one in the future. Okay, so that was book 3, I think. Let's see what's next. This one's gonna be a little bit of a departure. Now, so far all of my books have been kind of dark-themed, thriller-esque mystery novels. This is very clearly a child's compilation. But this was purchased for a nephew, so still really excited. I don't know if anyone else out there read the Little Critter books as a child and loved them. Part of what sparked my love of reading at an early age. And I'm hoping to do that again in a following generation, so that's where this goes. This is actually, it's an hardcover. And it's a compilation that includes all of these books. It includes the Fall Festival, Going to the Firehouse, Just Critters Who Care, Little Critters Snowball Soup, Just a Big Storm, The Lost Dinosaur Bone, and The Best Show and Cheer. You can take a look inside. It's probably the only one that's going to have actual stuff we're looking at inside of it. I picked this one because it was kind of fall themed, and that's my favorite time of year. Now we're kind of in the dead of winter, and you know, it's a time to slow down and just sleep a lot. Been in and out of some sickness, and if you hear any scratchiness in my voice, then it's just gonna be like that for a while. It happens every time I got sick. So, anyways, I'm really excited to hand this off to its new owner, but you guys get a little picky at first. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Oh, and it includes stickers. It does include stickers. That was always extra exciting when you were a kid, when you had a book that had stickers in it. Yeah, okay, I'll put this away now. Next book. There's actually more in this box than I thought there was. Okay, so I think this is now book 5 out of the box. Maybe, if that's correct. Okay, this one is called Midnight on Beacon Street, and it says One Night, One House, One Dead Body by Emily Ruth Verona. That's a name. I think I'll have to zoom in a little bit on this one. It's a smaller book. I thought it was going to be bigger for some reason. There was a little, I can't tell if that's damage or if it's supposed to look like that. I also kind of thought this one was supposed to be a hardcover. I'll have to go back and check my receipt. Either way, I saw this book. I just saw the picture of it. Trying to get it so the light isn't reflecting off the cover weird. And I was like, that gives me kind of adult Fear Street vibes. Kind of classic horror. That's what I got from this. So let me tell it's about. Oh yeah, this is a debut novel from this author. I got a couple of those. I searched specifically that section in the website to see if I could find any new books. Anyways, October 1993, when single mom Eleanor Mazinski goes out for a much-needed date night, she leaves her 2 young children, sweet, innocent 6-year-old Ben and precocious, defiant 12-year-old Mira, in the capable hands of their sitter Amy. The quiet 17-year-old is good at looking after children, despite her anxiety disorder. She also loves movies, especially horror flicks. Amy likes their predictability. It calms the panic that threatens to overwhelm her. The evening starts out normally enough, with games, pizza, and dancing. But as the darkness falls, events in the quaint suburban New Jersey house take a terrifying turn. Unexpected visitors at the door, mysterious phone calls, and by midnight, little Ben is in the kitchen, standing in a pool of blood, with a dead body at his feet. In this dazzling debut novel, Emily Ruth Verona moves back and forth in time, ratcheting up suspense and tension on every page, chock full of nods to classic horror films of the 70s and 80s. Midnight on Beacon Street is a gripping thriller full of electrifying twists and a heartwarming tale of fear and devotion that explores our terrors and the lengths we'll go to keep our loved ones safe. This one again has kind of a really funny texture. It's matte, but it's not soft matte. It's, I guess, whatever not soft matte is. It's almost like sandpaper. Okay, that's that one. I'm also really, all of these ones I'm so excited to read so far. I guess that makes sense because I just bought them. I really leaned heavy into kind of thriller, suspense, mystery. That's just where my brain has been lately, so I expect to see a lot of it. Here's the next one. Now this one is soft matte. Oh, it's so soft. You can hear the difference to the last one. Okay, move this one out of the way. This is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Now again, I was really drawn in by the cover of this book, but it also sounds like it's gonna make it. This one is clearly marked horror. I don't see many that are straight labeled horror these days. This one just says fiction. Okay. When Louise finds out that her parents have died, she dreads going home. She doesn't want to leave her daughter with her ex and fly to Charleston. She doesn't want to deal with her family home, stuffed to the rafters with remnants of her father's academic career and her mother's lifelong obsession with puppets and dolls. She doesn't want to learn how to live without the 2 people who knew and loved her best in the world. Most of all, she doesn't want to deal with her brother, Mark, who never left their hometown, gets fired from one job after another, and resents her success. Unfortunately, she'll need his help to get the house ready for sale, because it'll take more than some new paint on the walls and clearing out a lifetime of memories to get this place on the market. But some houses don't want to be sold, and Louise and Mark's home has other plans for them both. I absolutely love, I don't know how well you can see this on the camera. I'm gonna try and get it to show. You know what? It's actually showing up better on the camera, I think, than in person. But the way they have color graded the text on the back of the book is actually really interesting. How it fades from orange, like a really light orange, into a lighter orange and white, in and out. So this side, a lot of the text is orange, kind of interspersed, and it's almost like your eyes can't decide if it's actually that color or if it's just kind of like you looked at a light and you look away and you see the impression of that color over whatever you're looking at. It's really interesting. I almost wasn't sure that was happening because I have a light up on the wall here, and I thought that maybe I was just seeing light, but it is actually that color. Whoops. So they pull the kind of orange from the front, and in the author's name it's kind of a patchwork of orange and white. And on the bottom, so the cover is matte, but the windows are high gloss. That's actually really interesting as well. Really diverse covers I found in this box so far. Really interesting choices for aesthetic design. So we'll have lots to talk about in that regard when it comes to views and how they reflect what's in the text, or they don't. It almost looks like a dollhouse, eerie, creepy thing. Instead, it mentioned her mother had a passion for puppets and dolls, so I guess we'll see. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this one I wasn't really sure about, so I'm really interested to see if I end up liking this book or not. And this is In the Shadow of the River by Anne H. Gabhart. Again, another soft matte. It's actually a little more grippy. Sometimes soft matte feels really good to feel, and then other times it kind of feels almost taggy. I don't know if you can hear that. Like it feels like your hands are sticking to it. So it's a little bit less pleasant than the previous soft matte. It almost feels like it leaves a chalky residue on your hands. But yeah, so again, really striking cover art on this. Let me tell you what it's about. So there might be some debate on how to pronounce the main character's name in this book. It's spelled Jacci, and I'm gonna pronounce it Jackie. If you don't think that's correct, let me know. Okay. If all the world's a stage, Jackie will play her part. She only hopes her story does not turn out to be a tragedy. In 1881, Jackie Reed is only 5 years old when a man attempts to kidnap her from the steamboat her mother, Irina, works on. Badly wounded during the confrontation, Irina takes Jackie aboard the Kingston Floating Palace, a showboat tied up beside them. There, Jackie's actor grandfather tends to her mother, and Jackie gets a first taste of the life she will come to lead. 15 years later, Jackie is an actress aboard the same showboat, and largely contented with her adopted family of actors, singers, and dancers, especially Gabe, who has always supported her, and the gruff grandfather she has come to know and love. Jackie's mother has been gone for years, but the memory of the altercation that ultimately took her life, and the cryptic things Jackie has overheard about her past, is always there, lurking in the back of her mind. When someone on the showboat tries to kill Jackie, it's clear her questions demand answers, but secrets have a way of staying in the shadows, and the answers she craves will not come easily. So this book is kind of touted as like mystery romance, historical romance, but also a mystery. So I'm interested to read it. I'm not super enthused, but there was something there, obviously, that is kind of pulling at the back of my mind, saying, you should get this book. I kind of put it in and out of my cart a few times, kind of moved it to save for later, moved it back into my cart, moved it to save for later. In the end, I did decide to get it, so we'll see when this one comes around if it was worth it or not. So I think there's one more in the box for us to look at, and let's jump to that one. Okay, I have no idea what this book is, and I don't think I ordered it. I think this is a mistake. Weird. I guess I'll see what it's about, but I definitely don't. It's not. I have no idea what it is. Okay. Yeah. Nope. I definitely didn't order this. The daughter of a legend finds the love of a lifetime in this passionate, heart-wrenching installment of J.R. Ward's #1 New York Times best-selling Black Tiger Brotherhood series. Nala, the blooded daughter of Zadist, has led a sheltered life protected by her father and the Brotherhood, kept away from the deadly war with the listening society. She is chafing against the walls of the very safety that has ensured her survival. One night she gives in to her restlessness and comes face to face with a male whose inner darkness rivals even that of her sire's horrific origins. Nate is a fighter with nothing to lose and nothing to live for, tortured in a human lab as a young and then cursed with immortality. He is all vengeance and no purpose because he cares for no one, not even himself. The Brotherhood knows this all too well, and following Nate's deliberate violation of the cardinal rule in the war, they declare him a dangerous liability, and he must be dealt with. When Nala and Nate find themselves fighting side by side, daggers aren't the only thing that fly. A sizzling attraction is ignited, though Nala knows her sire will never accept him, and on his side, Nate has made a secret bargain to end his own immortality. As the enemy closes in and Nala realizes she must choose between her mate and her sire, what starts with such passion may well end with eternal sorrow and no chance of reunion, even in the fade. I have no idea what this book is. I'm gonna have to check, see if a book is missing. And they included this one by accident, or if this was just tagged in by accident. I have a feeling someone's missing this book, and I might be missing one, so I'll have to check. And then I will come back and see what the deal was. Okay, I'm back. I've checked my order record, and it looks like I'm not missing anything. I've just gotten a bonus book. So, bonus inclusion. I gotta say, I'm not interested in reading this book at all, so I think I'll probably end up giving it away or donating it. I just have absolutely no interest in it at all. The cover is a turn off for me. The story doesn't sound interesting to me. It sounds like some dark fantasy romance esque book, and it's one in a series, the Black Brotherhood series. Down here it says, yeah, the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. This is best-selling author of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. Okay, yeah. So I just read it wrong the first time, but yeah. So that's a bit strange. I have to check into it and see if maybe they want it back. I feel like they probably won't, but you never know. So we'll just see what happens with that one. But I'll kick that off to the side and lay out all the ones that were supposed to be in here. So that was it. That is all the books that I've gotten so far for 2025. I guess this one technically I got for Christmas, but this is what's on my TBR for 2025.